Hey guys, have you ever tried making some food changes and you couldn't stick to them? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. The goal is to see what's going on in your food life, to analyze your current eating behaviors, and hopefully bring some changes in that area. At the end of the video, you will set up one experiment that you will try to carry out for the next week or two in the area of food and nourishment. So let's dive right in. As a reminder, food and nourishment is a big part on a wheel of health. And if you notice some imbalance in that dimension, you're probably looking to make some behavior changes in that area. So let's start with psychology of eating. And so it consists of three factors: your environment, your mental state, and your emotional state. Those three things influence what, how, when you eat. To better understand it, let's do this fun exercise. If you were a food item, what would you be? For me, for example, I would be parsley, I would be lemon, and I would be radish. Why? So parsley, oh my goodness, first of all of them have such vibrant colors and they totally align with my personality. And so parsley is this herb that I feel like if you add in foods, it just adds the fireworks. Lemon is such a good substitute for any sort of seasonings. You can also make limoncello with it. You can also make lemon squares, any sauces. As far as radishes, those are my comfort foods. I know they do have a very distinct flavor and not to everyone's liking, but for me, it associates with home. My mom had a vegetable garden, and those were the first vegetables coming in early spring. So each week when I do groceries, those are the things that I definitely buy and associate with me. To get more insight from psychology of eating, I invite you to answer the following questions, and you can pause the video on the screen while you're answering those. Second area I want to briefly touch upon is mindful eating. I will be creating a separate course on this subject around my birthday at the beginning of February, and if you're interested, please let me know in the comments below. So what is mindful eating? In simple terms, when eating, just eat. When drinking, just drink. This is about taking time to enjoy what you are taking in. So that would be attending to the color, shape, and texture, to the flavor in your mouth, and also ending your meal when you're full, not when your plate is empty. Mindful eating is that very special seasoning that you have the ability to create for yourself. Guys, before you go in the area of setting up your own experiment and your action step, I want to remind you that changes in the area of food and nourishment are not about restricting your eating. This is about noticing your triggers and learning to work with them and outsmarting them. Go into your experiment. So you will need a list with those check marks, and find one item on that list that you have the most energy to work around, or perhaps one of the items that will make more sense to work with a busy schedule. I also want you not to think of that list as if it's something wrong in your life or bad. Yes, those are triggers, but instead address those with curiosity. I know this is my trigger, but I'm curious, how can I outsmart this? For me, for example, I know I'm an emotional eater and I also eat late at night. So what I am curious about, that when I will be finding myself going down in the middle of the night to reach for that bag of chips in my cabinet, I'm curious, maybe I can write instead in my journal about my feelings and what is causing me to reach for that bag of chips. Also think of supports in your environment, anything that can help you stay accountable with your task. So for me, I probably will put a quote on my cabinet that would remind me, that would be a cue for me to journal. And there you go, guys. I know that food and nourishment is a vast area on the wheel of health. We touched upon today on mindful eating and on psychology of eating, and that is exactly what health coaches can help you with. If you have questions about nutrients, about labels, those are the questions for registered dietitians. However, I will submit 2 reliable resources for your reference in the description of the video from US government in the area of food and nourishment for your own reference. And also, as a reminder, next week we will be talking about sleep. Can't wait to see you then. Thanks, guys. Mwah.